does it say?
Well, it says it's live now. So.
Didn't say live on YouTube.
Let me see if I click YouTube. What happens? Oh yeah, it shows it.
Yeah, we're live now.
Yeah, we're live. It should be
working
on YouTube.
We are live. We are live. We were waiting.
We are live. Where is that from?
I don't know. I have no idea. No idea at all.
We are live.
Off the bat, a lot of stuff going on with trades. What was the most from these last couple of days to y'all? And I'm gonna hold back because I don't want to sit and complain about the Wizards early. But off the bat, let's start with Carl. Most shocking moves so far.
I'm gonna be honest, it's been the biggest move so far. Obviously, is Bradley Beal going to the Suns.
Okay.
I just don't understand the Suns' direction. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's confusing because they keep giving themselves more and more in the hole in terms of like salary cap and paying all their top players all this money. Because between the three of Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal, it's like over $100 million worth of like salary. That's crazy, and they have no bench. Like, they're very top heavy. You would think they learned from last year how that kind of contributed to the team as far as just like it being equal across the whole roster. Like, you would think they would figure that out, but it's just, I think it's going to create another problem, and somebody's going to have to get traded again from that team because there's no way they can keep all three of them.
Yeah, well, they're still DeAndre. So that's why I was gonna hold off on complaining about Phoenix because they're still DeAndre Ayton. They're still that contract, so we'll see what they can get with him. But the biggest talk is like, y'all are really top heavy right now. Like, what's another team that tried to do the same thing that had Kevin Durant, right? That Nets team where they were just extremely top heavy. And when is the last time a top heavy team actually won something? Like, actually made a deep playoff run?
Never.
It's been a few.
Or won a championship. Because if you're gonna have that much talent, it's got to add up to a title.
What about when LeBron said we top heavy as hell? Remember you made the comment, and I still didn't really think that team was that top heavy.
Oh, we talking Cavs?
Yeah, because remember, I think that's the team he was on when he said that. But were they really top heavy? I didn't view them as that way. They had good players.
Are you talking about 18 or not 18, 17, 18?
It was the year they won it. I think it was the year they won a championship because Richard Jefferson was still in that team.
Yeah. It was either year one where LeBron was back in Cleveland or year two, but I do remember him saying.
Oh, I think it was. Yeah. I think it was before. I think was it 17? I think that was 17, 18.
It was whatever, but again, like end of the day, the way the game is now, if you're not investing in depth, or the way these last couple of years are working is this: if you're not investing in depth, if you're not investing in developing something over time, it's not going to work. There have just been a few. The only time someone's been able to just team jump and win something, it was Kevin Durant, where he got into a system that already had depth and all of those things, and LeBron. And LeBron's one of the only guys in NBA history who can do that. But you have to commit to developing something. And when you're Phoenix, we talked about this Sunday. Your main three guys in this big three, your first two guys in Beal and KD are hurt all the time. Yeah. So you're like, we'll see. It's on paper, it looks good, but
because you mentioned you mentioned two of your players is hurt. Devin Booker's become a injury prone player type of player now too, because over the last couple of seasons he's been having hamstring issues. But with KD, we all know, we talk about AD, we talk about Kawhi, we even talk about Paul George. He's right up there with them in terms of getting injured all the time, and people don't really talk about that, but he is. He's an injury type. He's an injury prone type of player. That's just the reality. So if they're depending on having all of three of their players healthy, I don't know if they should necessarily. I want to see that happen, but I just don't see it being likely because Kevin Durant hasn't proven to me he can stay completely healthy, especially in the playoffs.
When KD first got there, he was hurt, wasn't
he? Yeah. He didn't play. He didn't play. He like in warm-ups, he hurt his ankle with nobody around him. It was like watching a cartoon when a person slips on a banana peel or something.
That's what that literally looked just like that.
That was the goofiest injury I've ever seen in my life. And then with the Nets, I don't know if you all remember this, he didn't play for like a year before when he signed that contract. So
that was after his Achilles injury, though.
Yeah. And then I know Todd when he was in OKC, he had them foot injuries he had too. I probably remember that, so it's unfortunate, but it's just the truth.
I don't know. When you look at Phoenix's depth wise, I think the only players they have under contract outside of that big three is Ayton, Jordan Goodwin, Isaiah Todd, and I think Cam Payne. Mm-hmm. So
just ugly.
And I think they are deep in the hole negatively in cap space. So
Oh yeah.
Bro.
So moving as far as trades go, the pick is in for San Antonio. But we already know who they're going with.
It didn't even take that long for them to say the pick is in.
I read something that said the Spurs are just going to troll and just use the whole clock and then make everybody think they're going to pick somebody else and then just go ahead and pick Wemby. That would be hella funny.
I swear they used 1 minute and 30 seconds because I was looking at it. It was at 5.
No, the pick has been they've been on the clock for a little minute now.
Yeah, they trolling. Yeah, we know he's going number one. I think the thing with I know we're moving from free agent talk, but I think the thing with this draft is like even the one thing I like about it is one, you have this generational talent number one, but there's still so many high impact guys even past that number one. And we don't know where they're gonna land. Like I like it when there's so many great players and you still don't know. No one's a lock for 2. Like Scoot is great, but he's not a lock at that number 2 pick. Well, he may be after what Brandon Miller was saying the last couple of days about the Charlotte.
That was wild.
I wouldn't even. He might talk himself out of the first round with them sacrilegious things.
Yeah, he was coming in hot.
Yeah, but. Yeah, no, I just looked at it. I forget Wembanyama 7'5". I'd be thinking he's 7'2", 7'3". He's 7'5". That's even crazy.
I think that. Are you guys with him? Obviously, we know he's going to go number one here, but with him, are you guys worried at all about the physicality? Because I was watching some games because I know NBA TV was running a bunch of games, a bunch of his replays because they invested a lot in streaming his games this year. But like what I kind of noticed was when you kind of got those. When they put those smaller, like stout, more muscular defenders on him, he really struggled off the ball. Like I feel like there were a lot of times where it was easy for certain guys to keep the ball out of his hands. When he wasn't, when he was trying to get open. Like how worried are you about the physical stuff with him? Because from a skill standpoint, it's all there, but from a physical standpoint, on a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are y'all about that part?
I'll say I'll give it. I think his first 2-3 years, I'll give it about like a 5 or 6 because it's a couple of one clip in particular I remember. I don't know if this is from a year ago or more recently. And they were playing against the U20s against USA, and he was down low against Kenny Lofton, and he just bodied him. Now, given Kenny Lofton he's a thicker built dude, but you kind of worry about that going into the league because there's going to be a lot more guys, like especially at his position, but. I think once he gets into the league, once they gonna put him on some kind of program, just like how they did.
Yeah.
So he'll build that muscle up.
Yeah. I'm not really worried about it to answer your question, Todd, because he has gotten the hardest part out the way in terms of refining. Like a lot of players that get drafted still have to refine something in their game. Yeah. He can pretty much do everything. And like A+ type of he has A+ type of skill. So he has the hardest part out of the way because his skill is top notch. He just has to get in the gym and just probably gain weight, get a little stronger. And we've seen players like Giannis do that. Even though LeBron came in the league strong, we see him get even stronger when he get 3 or 4 years in the league. So it's I think he's gotten the harder part out the way, and he's the easiest part for especially for pro athletes is to probably just gain weight and gain muscle. So he'll be fine. So I'm not that worried.
That is something that's strange. Like guys will come in and you're like, they're projects, right? Their physical stuff may all be there. Like there are a couple guys right now in this class, one of which I'm not going to say his name right now, who I'm just not high on at all. They have all the physical attributes and all of this stuff, or they have that part figured out, but they have to wait for their game to develop. Victor's weird because his game is so developed right now.
Yeah.
He's, but it's just the physical thing that he has to worry about.
Yeah.
I guess the other player we can compare him to in terms of just skill already being developed is Luka, but that's still kind of weird because Luka's not 7'5".
Yeah,
he didn't necessarily. So, but that's probably the only player you can probably think of that's like has gotten drafted over the last 10 years, but already had his skill level was already like top notch, and he wasn't a project.
I say Paulo Banchero too.
Chet,
I put him in there. Chet's interesting, Blake. Chet's an interesting. I'd have to wait on Chet.
I ain't even see.
Yeah, even just based off of what we saw in college for that 1 year, because he hasn't played yet. It looks like the skill set is there, but when you look at them like build wise, and we talking about like the physicality, it's kind of the same. Now Chet is not on the same level skill wise as Wemby, but you can kind of compare the two.
Yeah, you really can. You really can. Adam Silver's about to pick. They're about to go up in here and pick Wemby right now. I'm watching. Unless they decide to shock the world.
Hey, Victor, number 1 pick.
Right. Last time they had a number 1 overall pick was Tim Duncan. So like I said, the biggest thing here, they go with Victor at number 1. So the biggest thing here is he's in a situation here in San Antonio. Any first overall pick will want to be in a situation. You're playing for Coach Pop. You're playing for an organization that's been known. Only knock on the organization is the medical staff. Right. So there's that because we kind of look a couple years back. That's, I think, what kind of ran Kawhi away from San Antonio and all of that stuff. So that's the only knock there. But you couldn't imagine a better scenario for a number 1 overall pick than going to the Spurs. No. You know?
No, you can't. You can't, especially playing for Coach Pop, because I know I was one of the people who's like, I don't know why Pop still is coaching. He should have retired like probably 3 or 4 years ago. But I'm probably wrong now because look who we got.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, this will give him life. This give him like an extra.
They about to give him they said they was gonna give him a 3-year new 3-year deal too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He probably gonna be done coaching after that. I don't see him coaching that much longer. This stint with Wembanyama probably is gonna be his last little stint.
Yeah,
see what they can kind of get out of him.
He like, let me see what I can get at. Let me see what I can get out of this.
I'll tell you what though, this Spurs, like this team, looking at them with Wembanyama, we're gonna see how like he develops and everything. But this is actually a very good team, at least right now.
They got pieces for sure, young pieces. So
KJ, Devin Vassell, who's very underrated. A lot of good pieces. Yep, I think they're going to be there. Well, it's a lock. They're going to be on ESPN again because there's a stretch where they weren't on ESPN at all since the Kawhi thing. And
did they? Let's ask ourselves this question: did they have one game televised last year?
They did. It was the one where they played in the Alamo Dome against Golden State.
Of course.
You remember that one?
That was. I don't want to sound like a hater, but I didn't get like the super hype behind it.
I got it was the most. Wasn't that the most like seats or most tickets sold in NBA game in NBA history or something like that?
But it's just but it was like, was it really worth it? Because like I don't know, but I don't want to.
They gotta get that revenue in somehow.
If you a Spurs fan, you go into that because that was like one of their anniversary seasons or some shit like that.
This past season was their anniversary season.
Was it 50 years? How many years was it?
Yeah, it's 50.
Probably.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, they won the longest tenured teams in the league, but it was an interesting game. A lot of it was like viewed a lot too. Like I didn't watch it, but like I was surprised how many people viewed it and everything. They were probably only Golden State and Spurs fans, to be honest, because I just But it's going to be great to see Victor on TV because I've only watched a couple of his highlights like through like YouTube, obviously, but I've never sat down and actually watched a televised game.
Yeah, and I think that's where I think that's. They ran a lot of them on NBA TV the last couple of weeks, just getting an eye on them. Like I said, the only thing I'm worried about is the physical stuff because what we're seeing in the NBA today is a lot of times those shorter, stouter defenders on those taller guys on the offensive end, you know, those guys have their way sometimes, like the PJ Tuckers of the world. Or we saw, Rudy got a little bit of a size disadvantage, compared to Jokic. And I know Jokic figured it out, obviously, but cooked them. But there was that one game where we just kind of see glimpses of it. Sometimes those shorter, stouter defenders work on those taller, lankier, offensive players. So I think that could be something he runs into year one, but he's still a rookie, so I ain't tripping.
But I get what you're saying when you say that. But not a lot of dudes are 7'5". That's where it's different.
With his skill set.
Yeah.
Because just imagine you mentioned PJ Tuckers or you mentioned the Rui Hachimura's being on dudes. I don't even care if he can't back them down. Do you realize he's 7'5"? He's almost damn near 7 inches more taller than a lot of these like smaller power forwards. It don't even matter if he can't back him down. You know what he can do is just turn around, just shoot the ball.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of his game. So I don't even know if that matters.
The science of his jump shot is crazy because when he shoots it, he's like level with the ball, like level with the rim. Like that's like unheard of.
He low key looking down at the hoop.
Yep.
That's insane.
That's nasty.
Kevin Durant stuff.
How surprised? Okay, for pick 2 because I think they're about to.
Yeah.
Y'all are the Hornets GM. Who y'all going with?
Scoot. I'm going Scoot.
I'm not high on. I'm gonna let them do it because I have a thing where we're pairing like 2 guards together. I think they've needed a wing, and I think B. Miller is obviously the best right now available, obviously. But I'm not mad at Scoot because now's your thing between fit. I think a wing fits more, or who's the better player, who's the bigger talent. Like that. I think that's the debate at number 2. So
Scoot though, he just has like raw athletics. He a bucket getter. Like if you just look at a person that can get a bucket, like he's the true definition. But I'm being honest, I'm not sure about Brandon Miller. Like I watched the NCAA tournament, he didn't jump off my screen at all. I'll be honest. It just drew some questions, but Paulo Banchero didn't last year either, and look how he turned out. So you can really debate it.
I think B. Miller is a little bit more of a risk, than I mean, obviously Scoot's the more talented player. Like I said, it's now's your debate between who fits more and who's a better player. I think Scoot's way further along, given the comp too. But I think at 2, I may have to give in. I'm gonna go Scoot at number 2 as to who they should pick, because like I said, I think he's more talented. I think he's less of a gamble. But then again, how does that pairing with him and LaMelo work? I think it could work well, maybe because LaMelo is not a scoring-minded player.
Yeah. You going with best player available over fit.
Yeah, and I'm torn on those a lot of times, but I'm gonna go best player available.
I would say best player available versus best player that fits. You have to keep in mind LaMelo is kind of a pass first type of player, so I think it will be okay. Now, if LaMelo was just a scorer, then it'd be different. But the fact that LaMelo, he does like to get near double-digit assists every night. Like that's the type of player he is. So I think it'd be fine.
Yeah, and then if you look at the history of it, like the last team to draft a guard really high and already have a point guard who was really established was Josh Giddey to OKC, and that's working out very well. So maybe they form the next great backcourt. So it's good for Charlotte that they had this pick, because I don't think they should be in this situation. Yeah, they did like this, but they shouldn't be in a situation. You feel me? Like this was a playing team, and you're kind of like, oh, they should be good and all, and they shouldn't be a lottery team picking number 2. And here's where they're at. But
yeah, we're going to see.
And he's got the G League Ignite experience, so there's that as well. Because that is a conversation about this draft. There are 2 guys in particular who are getting killed because of the comp that they played against. Wow, they would be Miller at 2.
Thompson twins.
Yeah, B Miller at 2,
about them, bro.
Yeah, we gonna get to them in a second.
I was high on them.
Yeah,
early in, but I watched a couple. Oh wow, did they take?
Took B Miller.
Oh, they picked Brandon Miller.
Yeah, Brandon Miller. Okay,
it went with fit. Yeah. I know he mad.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, just personally, me, even though Michael Jordan's about to sell the team, I don't think he did it completely. It didn't go through yet. Personally, me, I would take it as disrespect if somebody said, Paul George is the best player of all time, and I have, and I'm still on the team a little bit, and I draft him. Personally, me, I would take it as disrespect. I don't know about y'all.
MJ had the final word on this one.
He had the final words. I guess he had to like something.
Yeah,
kind of interesting. So now, okay, so I'm intrigued to see what Portland does here.
It'll be But then again, that's where I'm not a fan of Scoot going to, because are we did because what are we doing with Anthony Simon, who's very far along with where he's at, and Scoot has a lot of playmaking upside. Portland's just in a weird situation right now where I don't really know what the hell they're doing.
They don't know what the hell they're doing either. So you're not alone.
Yeah,
they'll go with Scoot here, but we'll see. But I think the fit there is weird, because I don't know, maybe they do something with this 3rd pick and ship it or something like that, because now that backcourt's Damian Lillard, Anthony Simons, and Scoot Henderson. That's 3 scoring-minded.
If they pick Scoot, does Dame get traded?
Yes, there's no way you're gonna run with those 2 guys.
I think Dame is getting traded, period, because I've never seen him. Dame has been the player. If you always mention trade things with him, he's ignored them and said, "No, I'm staying." He's entertaining the hell out of people's conversations like this offseason.
Yeah,
I swear, I've never heard him. He's definitely getting traded, in my opinion. Because I remember us having an episode about it last year, and it never happened. But I definitely think he's getting traded.
He been kind of irritating me with that this year. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Because if you want to trade, bro, just go get a trade at this point.
Yeah. I think fans now are it's weird, because we're always we want the guys to be loyal and all of this stuff. Now fans are bro, just get traded. And I think that's the best way to go, because they're not doing anything. This team is so weird. They, again, middle of the pack. They don't know if they want to rebuild. They don't know if they want to try to build around Dame. Here's the fact of the matter. Unless they land somebody big, which isn't going to happen this summer, I just don't think it's going to happen. They're going to, this little path they're on to trying to build a championship team around them is not going to be there till about 3 years. And he's how old?
Yeah. What, 32, 33?
33 probably.
Yeah.
Around there. Yeah, no. Early 30s. But
they're no different than the Wizards than what the position the Wizards were in. Like they're gonna have to give in and just go rebuild because now you're just sitting in the middle of the pack. You're not gonna get a contender. So unless somebody,
I think there was
nobody's
better shape than Washington.
only.
but same principle. You just in middle of the pack team.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is the only chance the Portland Trailblazers have of competing, not even just playoffs, just competing even for like a Western Conference appearance. Because I was just thinking about it. Maybe if they get Paul George, if they can find a way to do that, that's their only hope to keep Dame staying. If they can't get a player like Paul George, because obviously Bradley Beal can't be traded for right now. If they can't get a player like Paul George, they probably just might as well trade Dame today or within the next week. Honestly, if they can't get that deal. I don't know if they're trying or not, but if they can't get that deal, might as well just do Dame a favor and trade him.
But who says Scoot goes three?
Oh, we don't know. But
you know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
Watch him drop to Houston.
Because I've seen a couple of drafts mock drafts where he's dropped.
I would honestly love him in Houston because they need.
That's too. Him and Jalen Green is terrible.
They need a guard point.
And KPJ. Oh, that's disgusting.
It's like that's like looking at, and all of them are great hoopers, but it's just looking like I know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're pretty. There's Jabari Smith, and there's Jalen Green, there's Alperen Sengun, and I think the point guard thing, they just need a playmaker to kind of balance that thing out.
They gonna start looking like they're Orlando Magic with all them guards.
I can't wait to see what they look like this season.
Guard City.
I'm not watching Houston this year at all. I don't care who they pick. I'm not watching them because then they have what back-to-back number 2 overall picks or something like that. When Jalen Green number 2, and when Jabari 3 or something like that. And I don't know. They just Yep. I'm interested here. I mean, it could be like I said, you go with the next best talented guy, but I think this pick is getting traded, bro.
They definitely thinking about it. They might trade it.
It's taking them long enough to think.
They might trade it. If they trade it,
never mind. No, they selecting Scoot.
They're going with Scoot.
Yeah,
Dame's gone. Dame's gone. I just don't. That doesn't look like anything that makes sense to me. And then are you gonna put Simons on the back burner right now?
That's terrible.
That's three guards who love scoring.
I don't think you can't play Simons at the 3.
Yeah, no, he's like what 6'3", like no. He's not a dude who's shown any like Simons has progressively gotten better each and every year.
That's good.
Everybody's saying they should trade Lillard for a package, maybe more picks or more players or whatever. But I think they just need to go ahead and trade him and commit to this rebuild because there's no upside to this Damian Lillard thing right now. He needs to realize it. They need to realize it. Just part with him. They're doing the same thing Washington was doing with Beal.
Yeah.
Washington should have been traded Bradley Beal.
Well, Brad Beal did it the right way. He's smart. He did it the right way.
He accepted the he signed the contract. Then he wanted to get traded instead of just wanting to sign with another team and not getting that max. See, now he got the max. That was smart. Business decision.
Yeah. So they are going to Scoot at 3. We'll see.
He like his name Scoot.
I just don't like seeing these high draft picks, especially these guards going to positions where I feel like they're going to limit their games. I'm not a fan of putting 2 young scoring-minded point guards together at all.
Mm-hmm. This is terrible. Yeah, this is nasty.
Yeah, it'll be. But like I said, now what we do know is somebody like we do know there's a good possibility that Dame's getting traded now. So at least we get to a position where we know Dame's probably gonna end up on another team, unless they say, "Hey, bro, play with these 2 guys and let's figure this backcourt out," or whatever the hell this is.
I would hope they don't do that because that's disgusting.
They asked them to do it last year. They thought they're gonna get solved by getting Jeremy Grant.
They got Shaden Sharp, and they got Shaden Sharp still.
Just rebuild, man. Dame's gone. Dame's gone.
If anything, I would try to get if you want to still hold on to Dame. I don't know the possibility because Yusuf Nurkic is still there, but I would if it was a way I can trade him, I would trade him and try to get DeAndre Ayton and Paul George if that was a possibility. But I don't think it is. They can only get one of them.
Now what if they trade either Simons or Sharp for somebody?
It'll be. I don't think they've got the capital right now to go trade and get a guy like. I mean, maybe DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton maybe, but if they want to get another good player, the only way they can do it is trade Dame because they don't have like Todd said, they just don't have the capital or the type of players that people really want in a trade.
Yeah,
Unless and if you trade your young players, it's just like, what's the point? Like, what are you doing?
Jeremy Grant, if you could, like these are like all last attempts to go. Jeremy Grant, Yusuf Nurkic, package them or something like that, and try to those are your last attempts at trying to get something around Damian Lillard. But like I said, I don't really care what it comes down to. Go ahead and go trade him, get a bunch of picks for the future, whatever the case may be, and just go full rebuild. See what Simons and Scoot Henderson can get you, because there's no upside in this Damian Lillard thing. If you're this unsure about the capital you have right now to go trade, then there's just no upside to it, to be honest with you. So
I just want to see Dame. I just want to see Dame win.
Dame and Thompson.
Yep. Oh yeah. So Houston here.
Damian Thompson.
This is interesting.
He shot 25% from three. Good Lord.
I was just about to say, I was watching highlights of both of them. Both of their shots look kind of wonky. One is better than the other though. The other twin is better than the other, but both their shots look kind of weird.
And there's the comp thing, right? They played overtime elite. Everybody's talking about who they didn't play or they didn't get that much competition or whatever at that level. I'm going Jarris Walker here if I'm Houston.
Yeah, I think they taking Amen Thompson.
That's confirmed. Damn, I would went with Jarris Walker.
Where would you play him though? Because you
play him at 3. They don't really have anybody. I mean, outside of Jayshawn Tate, and Jarris Walker's way farther along.
You got
you said who?
Kevin Martin Jr. there too.
Kenyon Martin Jr. is not. I'm taking Jarris Walker and I'm pushing Kenyon Martin Jr. and Jayshawn Tate to the side. Those guys.
Kenyon Martin Jr. is just I don't want to say it, but he's just another player.
Yeah, like I feel like they're trying to make him part of this core part of their rebuild. He's not that far. Like Jarris Walker's way farther along, and I just think he has in between game. He's a high level defender. He can pass. He has good mid range game. He can create. Play him as a small ball. He'll be a 4.
And then what you got to move? Because Jabari, you gonna play Jabari at the 3?
Yeah, I think that's where Jabari needs to get his game at anyway.
Yeah.
So then you're looking at KPJ, who won't be their point guard for long. Then
I can understand why they went with Amen, because they desperately needed actual point guard, because that KPJ point guard shit is not working.
Were y'all high on that entire thing? Like around, like remember they had brought him there and they're like, we're gonna make him be a point guard. Were y'all high on that at all? Like, did y'all see the upside in that?
A little bit.
I wasn't too familiar with his game because I didn't really watch him in Cleveland. The only thing I remember watching him in Cleveland is having that little shouting match in the locker room when somebody stole his locker or something. But yeah, no, I wasn't too familiar with his game, so I didn't really think about it until he saw it. But then when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this shit not gonna work.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we'll see. Like Blake, you are right. They don't really have any playmaking here, and then he's probably the best playmaker in that top 5 as far as like the pool goes. So we'll see what happens, but it'll be really interesting how that fits. And I think it comes down to his jump shot. But you almost can't go. It's not a bad experiment. 6'7" point guard. He's probably the best. Him and his brother probably the 2 best athletes in his class. It's between Jarris Walker, Amen Thompson, and his brother. So it'll be interesting, and they'll be a fun team to watch.
ESPN got a little delay on their website.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Did they confirm they're going to pick Thompson?
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah.
All right.
We just got to wait to see when the pick is really in. But
the painful part about these rebuilds is how long are they going to take to, like for Houston, like how long are they going to be till they're actually good? For who picked number 1?
Spurs.
For the Spurs, I'm confident they'll be good in a couple of years just because of who they have as a coach. But even with the Hornets, how good are they going to be in a couple of years? Orlando, right? Like they're in a position. When are they going to actually contend for something and play for something meaningful? Like I think Houston's right on that path where you're like, when are they going to actually be good?
I'm glad you said that. Name a team that you can think of that's in the league, obviously, right now that is a good team, like a playoff caliber type of team that had the most recent rebuild, and how long did it take? Because I'm trying to think.
Good question. Would you say Denver?
OKC.
I'll say Denver.
They didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, but I'll say
you said one that has made the playoffs. My bad.
Yeah.
Denver.
And that took a while.
It did. I mean, because there was the Iguodala season where they were good, but then after that, they're kind of like I don't even think Jokic wasn't even like a part of their plan to read. Like they got to think about that. He wasn't even part of the plan.
They
for them.
they were originally going to choose Yusuf Nurkic as their go-to center instead of Joker, but then they ended up switching their minds and trading Yusuf Nurkic instead of Joker. I guess they made the right decision. But
Emmanuel Mudiay, like he was a part of that initial. You going
way back. He said Emmanuel Moody,
like he was a part of that initial thing, and then it just didn't really pan out. But we'll see. I mean, like I said, there are all signs point at this is the era to start rebuilding and start developing. That's what's winning you titles. That's what's winning people titles historically. So, I mean, it'll take a minute. I think, but I think Denver is like a really good, reference point, for them right now. So, for a lot of these teams right now, they're trying to get in the rebuild position.
Would you count like half rebuilds as a thing? Like you build your roster back up, but you trade a couple players and then you get this one main piece. Like, what do you call that? Like a kind of sort of rebuild? Because the Raptors did that when they got Kawhi. It was a little mini rebuild.
Yeah, you have those too, and there's a rebuild where you're not starting from drafting guys. You're kind of starting from you're moving over. Here are our best two guys. We moved those. Or here's our best guy. Moved him over when we started. Yeah. That wouldn't really call the Raptors thing a rebuild. I just say it was a trade that just helped them get over the top.
Yeah, because they got rid of DeMar DeRozan, but they kept Kyle Lowry. Then they got players like Fred VanVleet. They drafted him, and they got players like Siakam. You got to think of Nobi players. Yeah, so and then they just got Kawhi.
Yeah,
so it's a readjustment.
Yeah. I think Detroit next pick here. I think they're obviously going with Jarris Walker. I think that's pretty obvious pick here.
What if they go with the other twin? That'd be funny.
What if they go with somebody that's not listed here? If Grady Dick ends up being a top 5 pick, no. Who else? I mean, outside of these two, who else outside of? I mean, I would say Cam Whitmore, who's not listed here on ESPN site, but he'd be an interesting pick at 3 for them, or at 5.
I like Cam Whitmore.
I like his game a lot.
Scoring wise, is a compliment to Cade and Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Jarris Walker gives them really good versatility, though. Jarris Walker is one of the most versatile in the game right now. He's weird because his mid-range game is very far along for like such a young player. He's one of my. I was hoping, like I was praying that he would fall to like us, but it wasn't gonna happen. But I ain't mad. We probably end up with Cam Whitmore or something like that. I ain't mad at it.
What's y'all pick? What pick you all have?
I think we're at 8.
Y'all probably gonna get Anthony Black. I really like him.
I'm not mad if we go with Anthony Black because, like I said, develop a point guard.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah, it's really tough to. These GMs got to just start becoming better at pairing players with other players because you'll see them draft the same players that have the same talents as the future star that's on their team, and so they think. But yeah, these GMs got to become better at
figuring out.
Building.
Yeah, figuring out.
I think most of them failed and succeed. Obviously.
Yeah. We'll see what happens here. But I think Detroit. I mean, that's a good talking point because Monty Williams now being there, Cade Cunningham's going to be healthy. Jaden Ivey was great his rookie year. Now you have another top 5 pick, and you have a team that's rallying around their new coach, Cade. With Monty Williams, I'm really excited for Detroit. I think out of any team in that top 5, they're going to have a really good chance at actually being good next year. Like we just talked about, which teams picking high, how far along are they? I think Detroit's got the best chance of making a stab at like actually being a like play-in, playoff, or playing team.
Yeah, I was just about to say I think Detroit can be a play-in team, especially the East. So, and Cade had some great moments during last season, but let's see.
Yeah, he was just hurt. My thing with him was he was just hurt, and we really couldn't see how far his game was going to go. Because I think Cade could have been an all-star year too.
No, yeah,
yeah, he's got that type of guy.
He had some good defensive moments too. He was
he did.
People down that time. So
he was averaging like 20, a couple of like 2. Oh wow.
What you seeing?
Detroit's
Thompson.
picking the other Thompson twin.
That's all.
Yeah, that's a blessing. You get 2 twins.
Heavy.
Yeah, I don't know,
but I think he's a wing.
Yeah, they're too perimeter heavy.
Wow,
and he can't shoot.
So y'all might get y'all got a chance.
But for Detroit, that don't make sense to me. They really gonna
I
let
told
Jaren fall outside of the top 5?
I told you, Ty, these GMs, they just pick players they don't actually think sometimes. I swear it does. At least it seems like they don't think to me.
The Thompson twins were the 2 dudes to hate on in this class, though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know.
And they end up going back to back.
Yeah, so
That's tough though. Not gonna lie.
they're the 2 projects of the top 5. I think right now it's their lack of jump shot in the comp that really kills them to me. But we'll see.
Their game is kind of stiff to me.
No,
The game is a little stiff.
They shift.
And what I mean by stiff is I'm talking about the jump shot. It's stiff.
Yeah,
it's not one fluent motion at all. It's still stiff.
Oh yeah, like that's something they need to lock in on. But everything else is there. I just think people are kind of skeptical about them because of the competition. They ain't play nobody. They didn't play anybody. Like outside anybody in this class, they ain't play nobody. And then, on top of that, just the lack of the jump shot. But I think I wouldn't have gone with him if I'm Detroit. I think Jarris Walker's better. This is one of they're the 2 guys where you draft them where you're like, let's see if we can develop him. So they're projects. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I kind of feel like, I don't want to get mad at this, but I feel like teams invest in projects too much. I feel like Jarris Walker's and he's like young. He's got to be younger than them too. Aren't they 20 or something?
Yeah.
They're like 18, 19.
They're 18, 19. Oh, why are people talking about this? Man, I don't know. Jarris Walker's game is way ahead.
No, they're 20. I think they're both 20. I'm tripping.
Yeah, Jarris Walker's like 8. Jarris Walker just came out of his freshman year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But I like on what you was just talking about drafting projects and everything. I'm with you. I'm just like I feel like projects are meant to be drafted in a later rounds, like in a later first round, early second round. I feel like if you're picking lottery picks, especially in the top 10 or especially in the top 5, forget top 10, them dudes better be like. I'm not saying they got to be developed or anything all the way developed, but they better be at least 50 to 60% to me developed.
Yeah, I agree. If you're gonna have a top 5 pick, you got to
why are you picking the top 5 pick? That's a project.
I'm not big on this one. I'm not big on this one at all.
Yeah. It's just I don't know because projects we've seen in recent history. You don't know if they're going to turn out or not. That's the point of them being a project.
Yeah, I think you just wait a little bit for that now. Yeah, next pick here is Orlando, who's a team that's very far along with their rebuild. They have a great core. Paulo Banchero, Franz Wagner, who I think is going to be an all-star within the next 3 years. Paulo's going to be one, too. Jalen Suggs and Cole Anthony are on the trading block. So that does open up a little bit of stuff for them, which I'm happy about, especially with Cole Anthony, who I'm just not high on his game at all.
I'd rather keep Cole Anthony than Jalen Suggs. Well, yeah.
Cole's had more time, right?
I mean, what Cole he's going into his 4th year. Jalen's going into his 3rd year.
Yeah,
I will give Suggs a pass because he has been hurt a lot. But from what I've seen from him, this is just
Gonzaga boy hurt, huh? That's crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Cole. I don't know, Jalen Suggs or Cole Anthony.
I'm going Jalen Suggs. I think he's got way more upside than Cole Anthony. I'm just not high on Cole Anthony. Man.
What do you think what do you think the upside is versus Cole Anthony? Just the passing skills and just true point guard skills or something?
I like that he can play off ball better than Cole Anthony.
Okay.
Cole Anthony's not that good of a playmaker, and he can't play off ball as well as Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs ain't that great of a playmaker either, but he can play off ball better. So that's what I'm going with. And I think Cole Anthony had more of an opportunity to show it, and I just don't think he's done it. I think he's really streaky.
So I'm about to like you said streaky. So you think Jalen Suggs is like the better shooter if he can play off ball better?
None of them are great shooters at all.
Oh well, yeah. I'm just saying who's better in between them.
Probably Cole Anthony, if we're being honest. But I mean, I just think there's more
volume shooters.
Yeah, and if I'm gonna have a guard who I know is not going to be like a top 3 option, I at least want to be able to be interchangeable. And then I just think he's more interchangeable than Cole Anthony is.
Why the hell did they draft them together? Like, why did they put each other not together, but not at the same time? But I'm just saying, why would they draft them like on the same team?
Yeah,
not even that, but just they got an overabundance of guards. And they got Markelle Fultz over.
He's still there, yeah, and he's still technically
Jesus
a rookie.
Christ.
Oh, you funny.
Like he's still developing his game. No, the shout out to Markelle Fultz, he's a baller.
He a project, but unfortunately.
Yeah,
he was cold. He was cold. If he never really got hurt, I think like if people saw his highlights at Washington, like he was cold. It was crazy.
Yeah, he had a good year last year. I think. Yeah, I mean, I think that for as far as who they should go with, I think they should go with. They have good availability here. Between Cam Whitmore and Jarris Walker, if I'm them,
I say Jarris Walker. You know who else I like? I like Taylor Hendricks.
I like Taylor Hendricks. I may go Cam for them because I like Cam shooting a little bit more than Jarris Walker shooting from range at least.
If you
I would go with Cam.
If you want shooting, you go with Taylor Hendricks. That boy can stroke it from deep.
He can. Okay, there's a chance. There's a chance Taylor make. I agree with that. I think he's better. Like I think for them, yeah, because they don't really have that dominant inside presence. Really Taylor's probably the best shot blocker, one of the best shot blockers in this class, one of the best defenders. Yeah, and they don't really have like a staple defensive guy right now.
You could really play him at the 3 because you're gonna have Wendell Carter at the 5.
Yeah,
Paulo at the 4. You could plug him in at the 3. Franz Wagner at the 2, and then whoever you want at the
1.
Yeah. We'll see.
Jarris would be interesting too because he's a good.
They just did the complete opposite of what I thought.
They got Anthony Black.
Yeah, they got Anthony Black.
They got another guard. Did we just talk about that?
I told you, GMs and owners and coaches, they don't know what the hell they want to do. Who they go trade?
They probably some of these are pending.
Hey, that'd be the first team in NBA history to have a starting 5 damn near guard.
and you know what the funniest thing is, Carl?
What?
You know what the funniest thing is? They have Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, Anthony Black, Markelle Fultz, all them guards, but they best playmakers are forward. Franz Wagner.
That's a damn shame.
And if I could choose any of them to play point guard, I'm choosing Franz Wagner all day. Ain't that crazy? All them guards you drafted, but the guy I want to play point guard the most is a forward.
Yeah, it's not even like the true point guards are such a like they're extinct now in basketball. Like that, a true point guard is they're really hard to find. I just think you got to find somebody that is comfortable at playmaking because the likelihood of you finding like a LaMelo type of player or even I don't know, just a player that can just have 8 to 10 assists a night. Even Tyrese Halliburton, like the likelihood of those players coming along are very like slim because those are the only 2 players I can name over the last 5 years that's been drafted. That's like that as far as being an actual true point guard.
Tyrese Halliburton is one of my favorite draft calls of all time. By the way, I was high. I said
I give you credit.
I said the bullshit took him at 5. I said they went with Patrick Williams, and they don't have a playmaker.
Imagine if the Bulls had taken Tyrese Halliburton.
It was just you got to understand. It was just a jump shot that was a turn off for people because I will say why it was because I guess I'm just thinking maybe they looked at Lonzo and saw how he dominated with his jump shot. Then he came to the league and wasn't able to translate it. But Lonzo's shot was way more crazy looking than Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, and Halliburton. Let's also Patrick Williams averaged like what? Like he's a great player. I like his game, but they went with that's another thing where you go with the project over a guy who's way more far along. They literally went with the project, a dude who didn't even average double figures in college, over a guy who's like a 20 and 10 player right now. How different would Chicago be? Like the whole Lonzo Ball thing we talk about, that's not an issue if you go draft Tyrese Halliburton. So that again, that's another draft issue we always see is these teams wanting to go, use a project, you got a lot of upside, instead of a guy who's that far along. Now you went and let Cam Whitmore and Jarris Walker, who I think both of them are better than the second Thompson or Asar Thompson.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then you just let these guys slip. Now we going to pick them up.
Yeah, maybe they just don't view them as projects. Maybe because we all know college is not a player's game; it's a coach's game. Maybe
True.
They look at it like that. So I don't know because I can name you several players that didn't average a lot of points in college because the coaches didn't like unleash all their talent. And then they got to the pros and they was balling. So I don't know. You just have. That's why some of these dudes, owners or whatever, or GMs are long tenured with their teams, especially the good ones. Probably with the Spurs too, because they know how to pick talent, and it is hard to pick talent.
Yeah. So. It is.
I really like Anthony Black. I just wish he didn't go to Orlando.
Because you have an opportunity. This team doesn't have great floor spacing. You have Cam Whitmore there, like Blake mentioned. There's Taylor Hendricks. You go with a guy who's not far along as far as a shooter. So again, another guard who's still not established himself as an elite shooter.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah.
So now the last couple of lottery guards you picked are not great shooters.
Pretty much. That's crazy. Why do they just keep drafting all these guards?
And they good too. Orlando is very fun to watch, but it's the guard. It's the selection of like
the second half of last season, like they had a positive record.
Y'all got Bilal. I don't even know how to say this dude's name, but the dude who played with Victor.
Bilal. I forget how to say his last name, but Bilal, who I'm not very high on. What about him?
Y'all got him because Indiana just picked him and they're trading him to y'all.
Really? Did we trade our pick away?
I guess.
What? That's weird.
I mean, we traded up, but Bilal?
You traded up one spot from being 7 and 8. That's
Dude, hold
bro.
on.
Why would you trade up from 8 to 7? Like that's that.
But we went with him.
Yes.
They're letting Cam Whitmore and Jarris Walker slip.
Yes.
They're better than some of them dudes in the top 5.
Cam Whitmore.
So who picked him? Did Indiana pick him and then they gave him to the Wizards?
Yeah.
Who's doing it, bro? Who won?
So what does Indiana get? Just the 8th pick and some other picks?
So.
We'll see.
Who the hell trades from 8 to 7?
Well, seeing what the Wizards have done this offseason, it doesn't surprise me.
All right, Bilal's good, but there are players that are better than him. I didn't think he was a top 5 prospect.
You never know nowadays, Ty.
This dude doesn't have a jump shot. You let 2 dudes who have legit jump shots go.
Yeah,
so,
it's your team.
Taylor Hendricks, Jarris Walker, Cam Whitmore. But you want to get a dude.
It's not even that. I'm still stuck on this. Who the hell trades from 8 to 7? Like
I've heard of teams trading down, but not like this.
Trading.
And if I'm Indiana, why would you?
Must really like them.
And I know for that to happen, they gave him an extra pick or something. That's normally what that means. So you might have given another team an extra pick just to trade from 8 to go to 7. That's people trade down and people trade up, obviously. So like if you were the 8th pick, you see people go to the 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 spot. You went back to 7 and you were right at 8. Like, bro,
who told us to do that, bro? Like, why are we?
And then you picked the player that probably isn't, like Todd said, the best for your team.
He wasn't even a top 10 pick. So are you sure we traded that pick, or was that can you send me that tweet real quick so I can see it?
Yes, I can.
Y'all familiar with picking people in the lottery that shouldn't be there? Remember the shooter, Corey
Kispert? That was.
I still don't know why he's a first round pick.
That ticked me off. I remember they had Grady.
Yeah, Corey. Looking back, he was not a first round pick.
No, he wasn't. I don't know why they picked him so high.
He was late first, second round at best.
Bro, why do we do that? So do we know what? So we traded our 8th pick for the 7th pick,
or
that's stupid. That has to be wrong. There's no way that's right.
Or y'all trade. Oh wait, hold on.
Let me see something because we could have traded something else.
I've never heard of that in my life. Trading up to the 7th pick when you have the 8th pick. That's crazy.
Let me see here because I know Washington Phoenix have finalized the Bradley Beal trade, landing the Wizards. Okay, I don't. This is
and Indiana selects Jarris Walker. So yeah, they got the 8th.
So we just gave
What the?
So basically they traded. They just traded guys.
Pretty much.
And somebody changed their mind in the front office. Yeah. Okay. Why go with the project over 2 dudes who, like, there are 3 guys who are very far along in their games? Why go with the project? I don't get it.
You can't scout talent. That's why.
Why would you the project?
I hope
you might as well switch teams. I keep trying to tell you. Don't stop putting yourself through that.
But don't lie.
At this point.
Don't lie. Like, this is the thing. It's all in hindsight. We're looking at what they did do. I had a reason to be optimistic about a rebuild coming into this offseason. You had 2 max contracts, 1 a super max contract, and all you run away with is Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole, and this cat.
Some secondary players.
This does give him a good chance to develop his game, but again, why not go with the guy who's really 2 guys? I mean, Cam Whitmore is what, a sophomore?
He's a freshman.
Yeah.
He's a freshman. So okay, so you have two freshmen. Because I know teams that would pass on guys because of their age or whatever, but you have 2 freshmen who are very far along in their game, but you go get a guy who's a project. Yeah,
it's yeah. I don't know, because I'm even trying to give them benefit of doubt and just see, like, what are they thinking. I can't do it because it doesn't make sense for me to, like, you trade up.
Dude,
you switch players, I get that, but you trade up to get the 7th, the dude that was picked 7th, who you described as a project. Like we just talked about this. Our whole basis, this whole episode, we talked about why our teams picking projects over people that are more developed.
I was watching his stuff because I was like, I didn't think he was a top 10 pick, bro. I just really didn't. And now all the hype behind Taylor Hendricks, just see him not even go. To see them pick the guys they did over him, I think it was ridiculous.
And Jordan Poole about to act a fool. Yeah, I was talking about earlier. Y'all was talking about how you all think this is gonna be good for him. I don't think it is gonna be, because I think all the hot dog basketball you saw him play with the Warriors, who had a better roster. He's gonna have the ball in his hands more now. It's not gonna be cute. I'm telling you.
Let me. I don't like Jordan Poole's game, but let me try to play.
That boy finna chuck up 40 shots a game, Ty.
But let me give him some. Let me give him some slack. Maybe he. No, I can't. Never mind.
Nope,
what I was gonna say was maybe he felt like he was better than the role they were giving him because of that contract and all of that. Maybe Jordan Poole's a guy.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but that doesn't excuse some of the shots he was taking.
True, that's true.
It just doesn't. If you taking that shot with the Warriors, and first of all, if you bold enough to even take them shots as the Warriors, because obviously this year he wasn't making like basically any of them. That's what got people to talk about him the way they did. But besides the Draymond Green punch, might I add. But if you're taking shots like that with the Warriors, who are like a dynasty type of team, the next thing you're gonna do with a team that's not even half as good as them is you're gonna do it even worse. I don't even know if that's possible, but for him it might be. He's gonna average 20 plus points, but on like 40 shots. So. Yeah,
I mean, or on the flip side, it's a space for him to just develop his game and with no restrictions.
With Kyle Kuzma,
if he stays,
he probably won't. I don't know. We have to wait and see. But if he does stay with Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole, ew.
I think if we re-sign Kuzma, we're trading him.
Well, he opted out. So
he has a history. He did opt out, but he has a history of signing contracts and still get traded.
Yeah, like if he recommits to us, gets another contract, just trade his ass.
Yeah, we'll see. Jordan Poole with the Wizards. What a great.
Again, it's a space for him to fuck around and do whatever he wants to do. So I mean,
but that's not gonna be good, bro, because it's not gonna translate to wins. It's gonna make it worse.
Well, we know we ain't gonna win.
That is gonna be awful.
Yeah,
bad basketball.
My thing with this is I know we're not gonna win for the next couple of years. So at least if you're gonna rebuild, my disappointment with them isn't that we're not gonna win. It's that we had every asset we needed to get in a better rebuild position, and we didn't take advantage of it. That's my issue. I know we're not gonna win.
They showing his highlight, Jarace Walker's highlights right now. Why would y'all not pick him?
He was a top. I mean, as far as talent, he showed a lot in college. He showed a ton of stuff in college.
That's it.
Yeah.
Was he even a McDonald's All-American?
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah.
Okay, that dude. And he played in a disciplined system under Kelvin Sampson, because that's one of the best systems you could play in Houston. I don't know why you don't move with him.
Houston got some dogs over there, but yeah.
Who's Utah picking here?
I pray they don't pick Cam Whitmore.
I don't
think Utah can do any wrong here, honestly.
Me either. They would look at the spot they were in last year. We didn't expect them to be that decent.
Yeah,
we knew they probably were going to drift off and not make the playoffs, but they were right there. Like, they were only a few games back of making the play-in. So anywhere they pick is probably going to fit them.
That was probably going. I want to see who Dallas is. I know they probably going to trade this team.
Yeah, it'll get interesting with them. Yep.
Then they gave Lauri Markkanen a new nickname. They call him a Punisher. What they call him, a Punisher?
That's what they call him. I didn't know he had a nickname.
What was it? It's something. That's not the right word. It's not the Punisher. It's something. He got a new nickname though. It was hilarious. But
interesting name.
Yeah, but
if they go with Taylor Hendricks, they're going to be a really good defensive team, because there's still Walker Kessler, and then there's him, who's probably the best defensive big guy in this draft.
And he can shoot.
So you're not going to have these spacing issues. That'd be like two stretch fours on one team with him and Lauri Markkanen. That'd be interesting. Your question now for them is playmaking. Like, there's no real playmaker on this team, and I do think they can contend for a playoff spot, and I think that could be a big difference between them being a play-in or a playoff team. So that's it. But, what kind of seat? But I'm not mad. You can't go wrong here. There's Cam. There's, Hendricks between those two guys. Yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, so what if Taylor – so let me ask you a question, Blake. If Anthony Black was still available for Utah, would you pick him?
Yeah, I would.
Just for the playmaking?
Yeah, I definitely would.
Okay.
But I mean, who do they have right now at that guard spot? They got Colin Sexton, and I think that's it.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, I'm trying to really think of who's been picked so far, who's going to be who's going to be the bust of the draft, because there's always one.
Yeah.
There's always a bust of the draft, and one of the most recent, not recent, it's not that recent, but one of the ones I just never bought into this player's game, and he really never panned out. I think he's out of the league now. Is Josh Jackson? Remember him?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Josh.
He's not a super like hard type of player that kind of buzzed, but he was just like, I don't know, he wasn't that bad.
I expected, but even when he got to Kansas, like I remember all the hype for him in high school. When he got to Kansas,
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I never. I think they just looked at like the athleticism and his outside of when you this is what I've noticed. When you're a very athletic player, they think you have the greatest upside ever.
If you that's my issue. That's going to be the issue with Bilal, whatever his name. That's going to be the issue with the Thompson twins.
Just because you jump 40 inches, that doesn't mean you have great upside. You know how many people can jump that high that aren't even in the NBA? They're like street ball dunkers. Like what?
Utah got Taylor Hendricks.
Nice. That's a nice pick. I mean, like I said, they're going to be at a lack of playmaking, but defensively, they're going to be very interesting between him and Walker Kessler.
So, wow, Cam Whitmore really fell out of the top 10. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, somebody's going to get blessed by getting them.
I hate when see them brothers fall out some of them top 10 picks. They don't get that top 5 money.
Shit.
You don't think about that. Top 5, they get this top 5 money is different. That's why you want to get picked in the top 5. You get top 5 money.
If Dallas has next pick here.
Yeah. Now, how would y'all feel about Cam Whitmore going to if he doesn't get picked by whoever at 10? How would y'all feel about him going to Orlando?
Oh, wait a minute. Shit, I wouldn't mind him in Dallas.
Yeah.
They need defense. I mean, he's not.
Dallas is gonna trade that pick. To be honest with you, they keep.
I feel like
they still could. Yeah, they probably will. But Cam Whitmore gives another floor spacer. He's got upside defensively. He's not an elite defender yet, but he has upside. He can play well off the ball.
Yeah. Didn't they get fined for tanking that last game? Dallas?
Yeah, I don't know why they
trying to get a pick. That was the dumbest way to like. It was so blatantly obvious. I don't even. Like,
they got that mug.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do.
They still got it. But wouldn't that be stupid if they got it, they don't use it though?
I think
just all that.
Yeah.
I think they'll keep it.
Taylor Hendricks, if you'd have dropped to 10 for you or to 9 for, or excuse me, to 10 for you for Dallas, that would have been really dope too, because we've always said it. They needed an inside presence. He can stretch the floor. He won't get in anybody's way. He can play that dunker spot game, so he can complement Luka and Kyrie at the same time. I think your only worry there, if he would have slipped and if Dallas would have had him, would be the youth. Because sometimes you're a big guy. Sometimes it could be an issue, fouling or decision making on the defensive end. But, we'll see. But I think it'll be interesting to see what they do. Here at 10, they could move it. But like I said, even if they pick somebody with who's available, I don't think they can do much wrong here. So,
yeah, Dallas is in a weird spot.
They could be good. It's weird. They're really strange.
They can be, but it's just like it's something. It's a disconnect for them to know what to do with Luka, what to build around them. And I feel like it's not that hard. I feel like they're overcomplicating it. Like they just literally just need to look at the blueprint of the with the Nuggets and just do that. Because let's be honest, before they got Kyrie, they were really on the right track. I don't think. I don't think. Now Kyrie is a great player, and we all love Kyrie, but I don't think Kyrie was the right player for Luka to play with.
Yeah, I think that duo has a lot of upside, but I think
it does. But
I think they need a shot block. I just think they need a better inside presence. That's something they haven't had. Porzingis never was a great inside presence. Dwight Powell isn't.
DeAndre Ayton's not an inside presence, a shot block.
True, but he's a better defender than Powell and some of the other guys they've had in the past.
He is. He'd probably be the best player they can get if they could get him.
But then again, Carl, to your point, you have to get past Jokic in the West now. Do you want to go trade for the guy that got cooked by Jokic?
I mean, let's be honest. Anthony Davis, who's arguably, when he's playing his best, is the best big man defender or best defender in the league, because we all know how he get down.
Mm-hmm.
If he couldn't do it, nobody can.
Package the 10th pick to Indiana with something to get Miles Turner.
But he's a perimeter.
I wouldn't mind that.
Man.
But he's an elite. He's one of the best rim protectors in the NBA.
That's true. He does
Christian
block
Wood
shots.
is Christian Wood is a
He
free
does.
agent, right?
Yep,
I'm
and that's
letting
another tall big
him.
man
I'm
they
letting
got,
him
right?
go. I'm letting him
You let him
go.
walk?
I'm letting him.
I'm letting him walk. I'm letting him walk all the way home.
It's the reason. It's the reason I didn't hear about him till year 5. No, I'm just playing. But
But
Okay, so
I'm
I
letting him
remember the whole Christian Wood. I remember we were wondering.
How about the 10th pick for you? You think they would let them throw in Buddy Hield?
Oh, I think they keep
Nah, for a
Buddy.
10.
Buddy is there now. Buddy has had a lot of trade rumors over the last few years.
Yeah.
I thought he would have been gone by now, but he's still on the team. That's crazy. But
would I include Buddy with that 10? I would for a 10.
Because you just got Jarace Walker, so I mean,
Yeah, fuck it. Yep.
and you
damn,
do
I'm just
I think they paying Buddy like $40 million. I think.
I'm just
get him off the books.
When Dallas traded for Kyrie, I'm just thinking, damn. In a perfect world, what if Miles Bridges was able to go to the Mavericks? That's the type of player they need.
That is the type of player
Jesus Christ, they need that type of player.
This type that they would. That's a champion. That's champion. Like if they figured out a way to get him and Kyrie, that was just impossible thing. But that's it. That's it right there. That is it. Watch them pick Grady Dick here, bro.
That would be hilarious.
I don't even think Grady Dick is a top 10 pick.
No,
he mid. He ain't mid, but
he good. He's a good shooter, but I'm not picking just. I'm not picking a
shooter. You can pick a shooter. You could pick a shooter at the last pick of the damn draft.
Oh, that's a good question. Is he better than Corey Kispert? He's better than Corey Kispert because Corey Kispert wasn't even the best player on that Gonzaga team.
I don't think people realize this. It's two things. You can pick a shooter at the last pick of the draft. You can pick a shooter undrafted. It is not hard to find a shooter.
You can get a shooter anywhere.
You can get him at YMCA.
The thing that makes shooters pop in these drafts is if they can package it with a bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean? Like Taylor Hendricks, or let's look over the last couple of years, like Sadiq Bey, Mikal Bridges. Like that's the thing is these shooters have to be able to play defense or have other parts of their game. They got to be able to play well off the ball, all of that stuff. I'm not saying Grady Dick can't do it, but we'll see. But I think Dallas should go with Cam Whitmore if they're not going to move this pick. I think that's the best thing they can do. If they go with Grady Dick, I think they just kind of sit in the same spot. They're not getting better defensively. Grady Dick doesn't have better defensive upside than Cam Whitmore at all.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But
Dallas is trading. Okay, so Dallas picked Jason Wallace with the 10th pick.
Okay, it's another good one.
They're trading him and Davis Bertans to OKC.
And what are they getting back?
I don't know yet.
I think Cason Wallace is good in OKC. Another guard.
Now that's how you build a team. They need to look at Sam Presti for the blueprint.
Yeah, I swear to God. Cason Wallace
players there.
So. Cason Wallace, yeah, good elite 3-and-D, can put the ball on the floor. I think he's not going to demand the ball at all from them. What did Dallas get back again?
They got back the 12th pick.
Okay, so you just basically
they offload Bertans' contract because they was paying him.
Okay, gives you space to work, and you potentially offload Christian Wood and just let him walk. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna let him walk, but we'll see what happens. They'll have space if something happens, so they're just basically making space right now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I was high on Christian Wood too. He didn't play bad or nothing this season. Like didn't he average 20, near 20 at least?
Near 20.
But it wasn't impactful.
Yeah, he's been dealt a bad hand for the past 2-3 years, bro.
He's a weird player who we know is very talented. It's just how I think our question was, can he bring it to the highest stage? Can he, and he put his numbers, but
his numbers not impactful. Like when I watch the game, I feel like his numbers don't impact the game how they should. Like his 20 points to me feels like 13 points.
Do you know why?
Yeah,
because he doesn't pair. Yeah, and because he doesn't pair it with defense. I think there's nothing wrong with his offense. He just doesn't pair it with defense.
Like if you average, especially nowadays age, if you average just 20 points, which is just fine, and you average 2 blocks a game, near 3.
Yeah,
that 20 points would feel like 25 to 26.
Yeah,
That's a good point. That's true. Because you're impacting the defensive end.
Yeah,
if you're that damn tall and not a good defender,
because he's small, he's really skinny.
Man, it's a lot of skinny 7-footers that can block shots though.
Yeah, you said what?
So he low key a 4. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he definitely ain't no 5. So yeah, I mean, Dallas is I like this from Dallas. They're just saving money pretty much. That's not. I like it, and I think OKC made out well too.
But we still don't know if Kyrie's staying.
Oh, there is that.
I don't think he is, because if he was, let's be honest, he would have just said it. With him, he chooses his words carefully to kind of.
Yeah.
He told people to stop talking about his free agency. That tells me he's not staying because he's getting sensitive.
Yeah, Kyrie ain't gonna tell you what he's doing. Kyrie ain't finna give you his hand at all. It's gonna Dallas. Okay, who are the teams that are going to be the most interesting, like over the next couple of days? Obviously, Portland, Boston, because I saw something that said Boston said they're not nearly done with what they're trying to do.
The Clippers.
Them with the Paul George thing.
I think it's not out of possibility Kawhi might get moved too. I'm gonna be honest.
I think you just give up on that thing now. Yeah.
So
I saw something earlier. They've been in LA together 5 years now. They did shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's crazy, huh?
And the stuff they have done have been apart from each other. Like one would be playing, one wouldn't be playing. Vice versa.
Yep. Yeah. And there's so much upside on that team.
Well, so much upside. I knew it after I saw Kawhi get hurt, and they was gatekeeping information from us. We didn't know what was wrong with his ass.
They're doing it again right now.
They're doing it again right now. He probably I'm not gonna laugh.
Yeah.
But he probably got hurt again, and he to be honest with you, he probably tore his ACL again. The way they was hiding it.
I remember they just came out and said, "Hey, bro, his ACL."
Right.
We were like, "What?" Because remember they just came out of nowhere and just said, "Hey, this is ACL."
Yeah.
And we were like,
what was up with that? The whole time we was like covering the games or whatever. We were like, if Kawhi comes back, I think he's gonna come back next game. He didn't play the rest of the playoff series. He didn't say he tore his ACL.
That means ACL was messed up the whole time.
Oh, dude.
So that like we mentioned, teams are going to be interesting. There's Boston, there's the Clippers, there's still New York because even if Paul George isn't going to happen, they're going to make a move. RJ Barrett's on the block. You said Miami?
Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing. I wouldn't. That's the reason it was reports. That's the reason that Miami didn't push hard for Bradley Beal because they really want Dame. That's what they really want.
But if they end up not getting him and they kind of pooped away that Bradley Beal, then how's that gonna look?
Yeah, because even Pat Riley came out and said, "I'm cool with running it back." I said, "Y'all not finna. I don't want to act like y'all ain't right. Y'all ain't winning that. This is not gonna happen."
That was. I'm not gonna say it was luck what they did because they did play off true hard, but those type of moments are. Like you still even when you're the better team, like you still have to have a lot of things go your way in terms of luck, even to get to the finals. Like that's just the reality of it. But I don't see them getting back. But I could be wrong because I didn't see them making it this year either, so I don't know. So I don't know what to really think about that. But yeah, the interesting part about it is I wouldn't mind seeing Dame in New York either if he could if New York could find a way to get him over there. But I don't know if they really have the assets. I don't think they do.
They'd have to get Jalen Brunson, either Jalen Brunson or.
Yeah, and they're not doing that.
Yeah,
probably. I would technically, but then as a franchise, if you did that, that's why I'm about to just say, where would you be? Because you would just be going back to square one. So it's not a good idea.
Especially what Jalen Brunson did over this last playoffs. I wouldn't.
If I had another player on my roster that was just as good as Jalen Brunson, I would do it. But to me, they don't. Like Julius Randle is not.
I was just about to ask, would you accept Julius Randle for Dame?
I would. If I'm a Knicks, I would.
But I mean, for Portland,
ain't nobody
hell no.
It'd be worse than the Wizards. They do that.
That dude don't know how to use his right hand.
Any old.
Yeah, and he ain't. I don't want to be this type of person, but he's not a team player at all. Like
he's not a team player.
Every time if they lose and he score 50, you see him smiling on the bench.
Or if they win and he scores like 10, he's mad. I've literally seen him mad when he won the guy.
I've seen Emmanuel Quigley try to like continuously calm him down if he didn't get the last shot at the game and he start pouting. Like, bro, you ain't even like that. You got to be like that to be like that. I don't know.
He scored 50 against the Timberwolves and they lost, and he was happy about it.
He one player. I'm gonna be honest. He one player that might score 50 or 60 points. But the only people that care is Knicks fans. Because
damn, we just trashing Julius Randle.
He catching strays.
Shout out to OKC though, because Case and Wallace was a guy I didn't really talk about a lot. Like I think he's one of the most underrated in this class.
He's dropping some more.
Who Cam? Yeah, Cam Whitmore still dropping, bro.
Must be attitude problem.
Orlando got Jet Howard.
Who got Jet Howard?
Orlando.
There's your shooter. Best shooter in the class.
Jesus, I'm gonna pick him.
Blake, is he the best shooter in the class?
Second best next to Hawkins.
I don't know.
Let's see who the best shooter when we look at them percentages.
Yeah.
Cool.
I say Jet Howard, but we complain that Orlando doesn't have any spacing. They just fixed it by getting Jet Howard. I think they knew he was going to slip here, obviously. So good for them. Maybe it's not as bad as we thought it was for Orlando. So
we'll see.
And there's still Caleb Houston there. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's Juwan Howard's son, ain't it?
Yep. Hey man, if Cam Whitmore dropped, at least get Grady Dick dropped. I would have been mad if he got picked over Cam Whitmore. So
Grady Dick might get picked next.
Who's got next pick?
Okay, see, I wouldn't be surprised if they picked him either.
Look at OKC. If OKC gets Cam Whitmore, if OKC gets Cam Whitmore, they stole this. They're one of the winners of the draft.
They picking Grady Dick, bro.
They better not. I think
he getting picked.
If you get Cam Whitmore and Casey Wallace in the same draft, bro, that's a dub. They're gonna be a playoff team. I know they're really young, but that's a squad they've got. They're able to get both Cam Whitmore and Casey Wallace.
They keep building and being the best building team in like league history, but they have no jury to show for it. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
like they're just as. And this sounds stupid to really say this, but in terms of just building the team, they've done just as good as the Warriors did, but they just didn't come out. They just have a good outcome.
Yeah,
winning championships. That's a weird thing about it.
They had a lot of swings at it too. Like even after the Kevin Durant thing, there's the Paul George and Russell Westbrook thing that should have been way better than what it was. Then there was a weird.
Look how fast he turned that around though. How does but that boy that dude know how to use his picks.
And they were good. They were really good last year. They were one of the best defensive teams in the league. They made I know they didn't do anything, but they weren't supposed to be a playing team. They were way far ahead of what we thought they were. Now you have an opportunity to get another good defensive. Well, you did get another good defensive player in Casey Wallace, who can shoot and handle the ball if he needs to do it. And Cam Whitmore, I think they're going to pick Cam Whitmore here. They'd be stupid not to. OKC wins big time in this draft.
Yeah, this is random. Where are the what pick does the Pelicans have? Do they have?
I feel like Blake knows that.
14.
Okay. Just interested to see because we haven't really talked about the Pelicans either because they could be on that trade type of thing too.
Yeah, they could.
Depending on how long they want to keep Brandon Ingram or Zion with his health history.
Well, we just in other news, we just got a track list for Thug Allen.
Blake, I have a question.
Yeah.
If you're OKC, because I've seen a couple of trade or a couple of mock drafts here. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about drafting Kobe Buffkin?
Only reason I say no is because they kind of got a slight abundance at guard already right now. Because you got of course SJ and Giddey, but you got Trey Mann. Now you got Case and Wallace.
Yeah, like when I see Buffkin's offensive game, I'm like, bro, that's Trey Mann. I'm like, but I've seen a lot of mock drafts that have them having him taking them. So
you basically got a Trey Mann clone. So
yeah,
honestly, I want them to get Cam Whitmore.
They have to.
Yeah.
OKC so far, outside of the Spurs, obviously, I think has been the best team out of this draft. Has took the biggest dub out of this draft so far.
Now, they got to do something with this now because they can't keep on just drafting and just not doing that. They took a little step last year, but now they gotta do some stuff.
They gotta win it. They gotta win something.
Damn, the Raptors finished. I didn't even realize they finished exactly 500 last year.
That's another thing that should have been way better. Well, shit, this is a good pick for them because they should have been way better than what they were last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
this could also be a year where Fred VanVleet's gone.
I think
he's going to get traded. Yeah,
he is. He's a volume shooter. Unfortunately, I just realized that this last season.
How would you like him in LA?
I wouldn't be opposed. Like I wouldn't mind it, but we would have to probably get rid of D'Lo or something. I'm
not opposed to that.
Which D'Lo is. I'm not gonna shit on D'Lo like some Laker fans have because he was like part of the reason we even made the playoffs because he did play good in like the regular season when he came to our squad. But I'll listen to trade talks for D'Lo, but I'm keeping players like Rui and Austin Reeves, obviously. So
okay, so Dallas is getting Derek Lively.
No, Cam Whitmore. Derek Lively's good for Dallas though.
Yeah.
Oh wait, did Dallas pick him at
12? Right? Yeah, I was tripping 12 because they got the 12th pick from OKC.
Oh, they did go down. Okay, obviously. That's good for them.
Cam Whitmore to Atlanta. The dream is alive.
Is that confirmed?
No, the dream is still alive.
We've been on here for an hour. He didn't mention Atlanta one time. Now all of a sudden he was talking. He said Houston more than Atlanta. I'm gonna need you to pick a side.
So we're behind. We're behind New Orleans.
Hey, they said they was gonna think about trading Trae Young. I don't remember that.
Right. Derek Lively in Dallas is solid. There's a defense. That's
all 5 is up on the trade block except the Trae Young. So.
Yeah. Yo, Dallas didn't make out that bad with that. You say you're saving a lot of money and you get a good rim protector. I mean, like I said, I'm skeptical on young, big rim protectors or whatever because the maturity and the fouling, like we see that a lot of times, like certain guys have issues with fouling out or whatever. So we'll see. How many years did he do at Duke again?
Just one.
Just yeah. We'll see.
He was kind of underwhelming, but I guess that pre-draft process. They really liked him, so.
Yeah. That's back-to-back big, like solid big men they've gotten out of their teams. Mark Williams last year, who got a lot of upside, and then this year it's him.
I was just about to say Duke and laugh at him, but I realized North Carolina don't have any draft picks.
Yeah, man.
Lord, oh my God, that's bad.
That team,
Jesus Christ.
Oof.
No, don't even talk about it. Bring back bad memories.
2 Drake songs. Anyway,
don't listen to them. Don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Step on them.
Yeah, talk. Let me. All right. Let me see here, man. So who's next up here is
Toronto.
Who you going with if you're Toronto? Do you go with Cam here?
I would pick him.
Yeah. Watch them go with Grady Dick, Carl.
If they go with Grady Dick, I'm gonna laugh.
Don't they still got Flynn there?
Malachi, they're Carl. That's never going to become. As much as I hate to see it, that's never going to become a thing.
He be having his moments.
He cold. Malachi Flynn is cold. It's just never going to. That dude has such a. Remember, SDSU was supposed to be a number 1 seed. He didn't even get his COVID year, or he didn't get the tournament because of COVID. And now he gets to the NBA. He's clearly one of the coldest guys on that roster, and he doesn't get any playing time.
But you got Gary Trent Jr. there, who's a shooter.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't pick Grady Dick. I wouldn't pick him. I wouldn't pick him.
I feel like they could use a good playmaker, but they're, like I said, those are tough to come by in this class because there's not really. I mean, the next premier playmaker in this class, I don't give a damn what you say, is fucking Marquise Noel, and I don't even know he's going to get drafted tonight.
You don't think he's going to get drafted?
As much as I want to see him, I think he's one of the 3 best playmakers in this class.
He said 5'7", he ain't getting drafted.
I hate that.
He might not get drafted.
I mean, we know that nigga ain't getting drafted. He 5'7".
But you know what I think though? I think the next NBA phenom is going to be like. I think the next NBA phenom next to Victor. I think the next wave we need to see is seeing those short guys come back into the NBA and play like that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
because you have to think about like how impressive Isaiah Thomas's season was when he averaged 30. You're one of the three. He was one of the 3 most skilled players in basketball for him to do that.
But look after what happened though.
He got hurt.
He got hurt. He got less opportunities, obviously, but he got hurt. He had a hip problem. So people, it's a reason. It's not. I'm not going to say it's a reason because it is a lot of great short players out there, but it's the reason they don't pick them.
You think that short niggas got hip problems?
I thought Carl Lowry was gonna have hip problems.
Like big men have knee issues. Short dudes got hip problems.
They do, bro. They got
most
hip.
of them short niggas. They just like real compact.
Stupid. That's not stupid.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah, but I'd like to see that like come back around, like to see a short guy come back in the game and down because you have to think about the skill level.
It's not gonna happen. I'm telling you. It's not because people are constantly drafting. People are in love right now. Like they are flirting with dudes that are 6'8" and above that can shoot. It's not gonna happen.
But that's what makes Isaiah Thomas one of the most unique players of probably the last 20 years. And I think one of the most unique players of all time. Him and Allen Iverson are 2 of, like, obviously he's not the most, but he's one of the most unique players ever. Yeah. To average 30 a game in an era where he was coming in an era where he was entering that time where there were some bigs bringing up the ball or whatever. And everybody, like you said, everybody's drafting for these super tall guys or whatever the case may be from really 1 to 5, But
that's why he was unique because it's just, you don't see a lot of people even take chances on players like that. And it's the reason you haven't seen one since him too, because they just don't pick them. They never really have.
Yeah.
They've actually picked more of those type of players in the 90s and early 2000s than they do now.
Yeah. Yep.
So
What's Marquise Noel is like 24. So.
Oh yeah, damn, he's short and old. So yeah.
24.
Yeah. You know how they are. Like,
was he one of them dudes that had like 5 extra years of eligibility or something?
Yeah, he took off 4. He just took 4 years. He's a senior.
No, I think he took like 5. He took 5.
Oh, look
Ain't
it
no
up.
way he took 4. Ain't no way he took 4.
He had to take a 5 or 6.
Why?
Bro, you
Marquise
supposed to be
Noel?
21 or 22 at college, out of college, bro.
Marquise Noel. Let me see. Y'all may be right.
He took about 40 extra credits.
I know he transferred.
Oh, I can't stand that extra eligibility.
What's that dude from Memphis that's 27 still playing college ball?
That's a damn shame. He take his ass home.
Oh, he won the Bob Cousy Award. Good for him. Let me see.
Yeah, at least he did that. Some people don't even. Yeah.
Don't lie. He's one of the most entertaining players in college basketball we've seen.
No, he is. He is. But
He's 5 years. Yeah. He's 5 years, Carl.
Yeah, 5 years not bad. 5 years not bad at all. It's when it gets, because you do get hurt. It's when it gets 6 to 7. That's crazy.
That's bad.
In 5 also for like because he came in. I think COVID was a thing with him.
I'm not going to make fun of a person that gets 5, especially when they tore
now.
If
he was even like what 5'11", 6 foot, I think
it'd still be rough.
Drafted.
Yeah,
if he was, he'd get drafted.
He's 5 like
7, 5'7", 5'8".
That man ain't no 5. He can't be. I'm 5'8", bro.
Yeah, they said he about 5'7", 5'8".
That's crazy. That made me feel stupid.
He's 5'5".
Well,
he is a little compact.
He is a compact dude.
He was cold. He was cold at that tournament though. But I don't know if I want to see people take a chance on him, but I just don't think they will.
It won't. He'll be a G League star.
You don't think he'll get drafted at all?
I think he'll have a couple shots in the NBA. I don't think he'll get drafted tonight, but I think over the course of his career, he's going to have a shot because at some point that talent's going to take over. Like the talent is there. He's one of the best playmakers.
He'll get a chance, whether that's him being drafted late round or even being undrafted. He'll get a chance. He just has to do the best he has with it because he only might be one.
Very small window. Blake, who you picking right now if you're Toronto? Or any word on Toronto right now? Because I know you'd be having updates like 5 minutes before they come out.
No, but best available right now. I'd probably go with Cam Whitmore. I just pray they don't pick him.
Oh, because you want him to sit there?
I want him to fall to Atlanta.
Y'all already got Sadiq Bey?
Nah, I wouldn't now, nigga.
I was so high on Sadiq Bey when he came out.
You need to let go too.
He's still good though. He's still very good.
Yeah.
Is Cam Whitmore gonna be that much better? Well, yeah, never mind. He probably will.
We don't know who's gonna be better.
They doing him dirty. That nigga, they was talking about he was a lock for top 5 before this.
Who?
Yeah,
Cam Whitmore.
I told you must be attitude. No, I'm just playing. I don't know.
You just said that twice.
Must be attitude.
Carl couldn't be no NBA scout.
I don't like his attitude. Look at this. He would have look at his Instagram. Look at the Instagram.
It's an interview process. It's the interview process I will go through. I'm gonna just say it real quick. Ask the young man to walk in. I'm gonna look at him. If he comes in a hoodie and a skull cap looking, I don't know, unprofessional, they gotta wear a suit when they talk to me. They don't wear a suit. They don't wear a suit. I'm not drafted.
Sound like you run that Space Jam team. The monster.
If you want to get drafted, you must wear a suit.
Yeah. Who's Toronto going with? Watch them pick Grady over Cam, bro.
Please do.
Grady over Cam? Oh, you want him to drop? Never mind.
I want him to drop. I really do.
I was gonna make a joke, but I forgot I can't do that. But yeah,
it's gonna be tough not to do this for Grady over the next couple of years.
They should pick Grady.
Yeah.
Dick for 3.
Yeah. Who does New at this 14th pick? At this 14th pick though, because I'm interested in what New Orleans does. I don't think they need to. I don't think they need to part on the Zion thing just yet. I think you waited out. I think you waited out another year.
I'm be honest, he's not going to ever be healthy enough. He's not. It's just the reality.
He got a lot of stuff going on. He needs to get under control.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, Ingram's still tradable too. There's still Brandon Ingram that's there. So there's a lot. There's a world where there's a world where there's a lot of stuff New Orleans could do with this roster. CJ's on.
Hey, CJ's tradable.
Everybody, yeah.
Everybody can get
it sucks because I feel like they should be a team that's like trying to add one more, like a couple more role player pieces to get over the hump because they should be a Western Conference Finals team. You know,
they won't be. They won't be. I think a lot of the stuff that came out, it just gave it. Like it just gave me a reason to know why. Like I thought. Well, I'm not going to say that because I always feel like Zion's a focused player, but I always felt like it might have been a disconnect sometimes between him and the team. I don't know why.
Oh yeah,
but now I know why it was disconnect.
Yeah,
this is stuff they probably already knew.
He has no relationship with anybody on the.
Yeah, this is probably stuff they already knew, but we.
Oh yeah, I mean down to the New York thing. Remember that? Like he like the whole thing was he wanted to go to New York, which wasn't gonna happen, and then they kind of knew it. Like they just kind of knew like Zion just didn't have his heart here. I don't think that's what's happening right now, but
what's the worst place?
He needs to get it. He just need to get his body together and take his health more seriously because I feel like that's why some of these injuries are freak injuries. Like it's just him being 280 pounds and jumping 45 inches off the ground. That's going to happen because a man that size is not supposed to jump that high.
Yeah,
but I guess that's just the reality of it. So, oh well.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Let's see who with Toronto goes. They're taking a second here.
They taking all day.
Anywhere on Toronto's pick yet?
No, I keep on checking, refreshing.
It might pick me the way they taking.
There may be a little trady going on.
They don't need to trade. They need to keep that pick.
Yeah.
They can't.
Carl, you brought something up that I just realized. Like you said, that it wasn't until last year till I realized that Fred VanVleet really don't be making the shots.
Yeah.
He's one of them dudes.
He made impactful shots since Kawhi was there.
Yeah, like he's a better shooter than he's one of those guys. You always talk about it where some guys are better shooters than what their percentages like suggest. He's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
He's like he was like under 40%.
He take bad shots. If you take bad shots, you can still be a good shooter and take bad shots. Because, for example, I don't want to compare him to Kobe, but people might look at Kobe like, oh, he shot in a low 40 some season. But everybody know that watch Kobe play knows he's a good shooter.
Yeah.
So he just took tough shots. Sometimes that can kind of bite at your percentage. Just like with Luka. We all know Luka can shoot, but his percentages are low in some areas.
He's a 40% shooter over the course of his career.
Who, Fred VanVleet?
Yeah.
I still let him shoot.
Field goal percentage.
Yeah.
Damn, man. That's rough.
How many years he been in the league though? Probably what, 4, 5?
Been a minute. No, Fred VanVleet been in the league for about, let me see.
He's been in the league for
since 2017.
Oh shit.
Okay, so 6. So not that much longer than what I said. The way I react, I thought he'd been in the league.
Like he's been in the league much longer. I don't know.
Nah, he was undrafted. So that's how I'm pretty sure. So
Wichita State?
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't really have any finishing either. Like I don't think his scoring game is as complete as it should be. Because if you look at the elite point guards, like they can finish well. They have mid-range game, at least some of them.
Siakam ain't look all that great either. Siakam is.
I thought Pascal's had a good year. Let me go back and check.
It's all right. It wasn't. I think Anobi. I would pick. I think Anobi in the long run might be. I don't know. Might be better. I don't know.
Don't you got a time limit for what is the
that guy had a career year? But again, we always talk about this though. I don't think he's the franchise guy.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's a good player, but clearly he's the second or third best player on a good team. Team. Clearly, he can't make a corner 3 to save his life. That'd be killing me.
Oh yeah, J Hood Shafino. That's
Grady.
Oh, they picked this nigga. You're lying. Oh no. You're lying.
They picked Grady Dick, bro.
They picked Grady Dick.
Yep. Who's got next?
Yes.
Now you got to hope New Orleans don't go with Cam Whitmore though.
No, nah. I can see them going with.
He thought. Ty. He thought Atlanta was next. Oh, they are next.
They're saying best fit is J Hood Shafino.
Dick to Toronto.
Stop. Just say his first name, honestly. But yeah.
J Hood Shafino.
You're a little too happy. Watch New Orleans to get your dude.
If they do, I'm gonna be mad as hell.
J Hood Shafino makes a lot of sense for them. I'm going with him.
Damn, his hood is actually say hood on it. Hyphenated name. I didn't realize that, but yeah,
he's a big guard too. He's a big point guard.
Big dude.
6'5", 200.
Yeah, at the point, and he can be a true point guard. I think he just continues to fill out his game. But he was awesome for Indiana. Indiana was very good. Indiana during the season had a lot of great moments. I thought they should have been like a Final Four team, but obviously they weren't. But
yeah, this is also random because ever since Donovan Mitchell's gotten drafted, each draft I try to see if it's a player that's like him. That's kind of like. That's like in the shadows and nobody knows he'll become what he become. Do you think it's a Donovan Mitchell type of player in this draft?
That's a good question. Who's the Donovan Mitchell this draft where he's a good high enough pick, but we didn't think he'd be him. He'd be that guy to where it'd be a number one. Like Mikal Bridges, another dude is kind of similar to that, where he's like middle of the pack in the draft.
I can even ask. There's another. It should be certain players that are like embedded in NBA history. Be like, oh, he was a surprise player to draft move, but never be another player like him. And I don't. It might not be another player that's drafted like Isaiah Thomas was one of them. He was one of those unique players.
True, he was the damn last pick.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's even better. Like it's.
Who's the guy?
And that doesn't happen in basketball a lot. That happens in football a lot, obviously, in like other sports, but basketball that is rare.
That's a good question. Who's the Donovan Mitchell this class? Where he's like a middle of the pack lottery guy.
Dude, Joker was a second round pick, so
it could be Cam Whitmore because he has a lot of good. Like he can put the ball on the floor. He's not like if you look at his build, you're like, oh, he's a stretch shooter. He's just a stretch through like a guy who stretch the floor.
He's a big physical dude that
yes,
has a finesse to him.
I hope they don't take all their time picking it though.
Yeah,
I would say Cam Whitmore, if there's anybody, could be like the lower lottery type, like or just outside of it, guy who ends up being like a franchise player at some point.
For Atlanta.
Right.
This is big, Blake. If they pick Jay Hood, then they're definitely going with Cam, and you get what you want. Somebody leaving this draft with something good.
I'm leaving
one of us three.
I'm leaving with something.
Yeah, man.
Now, if we soil our pants and take somebody else and he drops to LA, I'm gonna be so mad.
Let me think here. I mean, who else is really available that you wouldn't mind Atlanta taking if they don't get him?
I wouldn't see the thing with Shafino. He's already I don't know. I don't really like Shafino like that. I don't really like him. Not as much as I like Cam Whitmore.
So then who do you go with? Like if it's not him, would you be mad at Kobe Buffkin?
I wouldn't be mad, but I wouldn't be like, oh. No.
Good defender, can play off ball, can still score.
If we don't get rid of Dejounte, then that's
true. That's true.
Hey, interesting thing. Let's start about it because I remember you all hyping him up out of high school with you all used to hype him up with Chet all the time, but I'm like, I don't know if he's going to turn out. Where is Imani Bates going to get picked? Do you think he's going to get?
Probably second round.
Yeah, just because a lot of it's not his game; it's a lot of other stuff with him.
Okay.
I
just always wondered about him because I remember how you always hyping him up. I definitely remember that.
I mean, at that time, he was worth the hype.
Yeah,
he just
but I just had to tell you like Chet, him and because they used to talk about him and Chet all the time. I just said you have to just wait and see how some of these players play out first. But
he's got game. There's a reason he's at the college he's at right now.
I know.
He should have been like he won't go to Duke, but he should have been like a Kentucky. Like he's a top 5.
Oh, he had to say Kentucky. All
places. Had to, man.
I didn't really like that Memphis. That Memphis was kind of.
The Memphis you talking about where he committed there initially.
Yeah.
So what is he? Imani Bates like a sophomore now, right?
Think so.
Yep, he'd be a sophomore because he was Let's see what New Orleans does. The picks in. Blake, you got any word on it right now?
They need the pick
right now, but they are talking about Dallas is kind of active in trade talks right now. They're trying to use that $17 million exception they got.
Oh man, Dallas finna get somebody, bro. They have a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, they still got to sign Kyrie back, but still, they're gonna have something.
Yeah, if they go want to sign Kyrie, he do for $50 million.
New Orleans got Jordan Hawkins.
Good shooter.
I like that for them because he's a good shooter. But
y'all playing with house money right now, Blake.
Watch they don't pick him. Watch they don't pick him.
Oh my God, bro!
And it's the 15th pick. That's the last pick we go cover too. So
yeah, we're probably gonna cover this last one here to get Blake's.
That'd be even funnier. That's the last pick we cover, and they don't pick.
But don't speak that into existence, bro. Come on.
Matter of fact, they not picking him. But this was
Blake is like I didn't see this dude smiling. Boy, it's big cheesing right now.
He love the draft. That's his thing.
What if y'all pick Jay Hood?
I'm gonna be low key mad if we pick them.
They gonna pick Marquise Noel.
Okay, it's if we pick Marquise Noel, I'm turning this TV off. But
man, I'll take him.
I'll laugh my ass off. There's zero chance that happens though.
I'll tell you what. 2 guys I wouldn't mind picking besides Cam Whitmore. I know that he probably not gonna fall that far, but Keontae George and and Chris Murray, Keegan Murray, brother.
Okay, I like Chris Murray for you guys if it's not Cam, which I don't see a world where they don't pick Cam and go with him. But
they don't. I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
If Kobe, but let me think here.
So they already picked. Did you already say the pick?
No, we on the clock right now.
You're on the clock.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what they do, man. I'm interested. I know you got the word on. You got to. He probably know who the GM thinking about right now. It's got to be Cam Whitmore. I don't see a world where they go pat. Cam Whitmore is literally a top 10 talent.
Let's see. We are going to see. I hope they just pick it because they've been taking too long. They've been using all their clock over these last couple picks. Like
these first picks took an hour and a half.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine the people that actually work at ESPN. They got to cover the
the
whole round. NFL drafts take longer. Just imagine that.
Tis true. What do you guys think of Hawkins to New Orleans though?
He's good. Shooting wise, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
They got a nice little shooting tandem with him and Trey
Murphy. Oh, yeah, they do. CJ.
I just remember him having a friendship with your girl at LSU.
That's his cousin.
Cousin. That's a friendship. Well, even better, cousin. That's all I remember. And I used to watch some of his game or whatever. I know he can shoot though.
I thought he had some Beal in his game.
Huh?
I thought he had some Beal in his game, just a little bit of Bradley Beal in his game.
People don't realize Bradley Beal came off as a shooter, and he kind of improved his game and dribbling skills and everything.
Can I ask y'all a legit question?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Player to player.
Uh-oh.
Just player to player.
Yeah.
This is a statement. Devin Booker ain't better than Bradley Beal. You'd have to tell me what Bradley.
I think Devin Booker is better than him.
You have to tell. All right. So now tell me what Devin Booker can do better than Bradley Beal.
That's a good point, but I don't know if it's anything that Bradley Beal can do better. Then their game is very similar in the way they shoot, and they're both efficient scorers. But I don't think you can just flat out say one is better than the other. I recant my statement. I think their talent. You're pitting teammates against. You're pitting teammates against each other too. You.
Oh, I do that.
You something else. You're wrong for that.
They're basically the same player.
I think Booker is a slightly better. I love Brad Beal. I think Booker is a slightly better scorer.
2 30-point game seasons.
Them 30-point games don't rub me the right way when you losing.
Look at his team.
I'm sorry.
Also, this though,
because I'm about to say it's a lot of players in the league right now. I know you can agree with this that will average 30 and it's on a losing team. It's a lot of players that can do that.
He averaged 30 on a playoff team though.
They barely made the playoff, but
we got to the playoffs though.
Was that when the play-in started?
We didn't. We got that was probably the second or third year after the play, or second year after the second play. Who'd you guys get, Blake?
They picked Buffy. Turn this off, bro.
They picked Kobe Buffy.
Turn this off. Turn this off.
They let Cam Whitmore slip that low.
It must be something. But yeah.
What do you say again, Carl? It must be something. Must be an attitude problem.
It must be something.
That does it for our stream.
Man.
Yeah.
That boy go to bed. That boy go to bed. But
dang, we'll holler at y'all, man.
All right.